Video killed the radio star. Don't you know? Mm. The radio created one set of stars, built of course on the theaters of the world. And then the videos killed the radio because of the power of the visual image. But it all began with the theaters thousands of years ago. Theos, the house of God. Because theaters were, to a certain extent, the original churches. The places where people would gather to socialize and receive their download of information and propaganda. Oh yeah, just took a walk. Can you believe it? Went outside, risked it, walked past all these people in their cars wearing masks. What are you scared of, people? What are you scared of? Get to the shop, the little shop at the end of the road, and I stand in a line of 10 people. And about 3 of them were smoking. Doesn't that say it all, right? There's supposed to be some invisible virus out there that's going to attack and kill you and lives in the air, and it will affect your lungs and cause breathing problems, etc. But keep smoking the cigarettes, guys. There was this guy just standing there, back against the wall, rolling the cigarette. Not a care in the world. Not a clue either. Not a clue. You have to wonder, don't you? You have to wonder how we got into this predicament that we're in. Do you think about that? Do you think about how things got to where they are, or do you just live in momentary behaviors, not thinking too much because it hurts? It hurts to think too much about it all, right? Do you build walls around yourself to protect you? What do you let in? What do you let out? My name's G. I represent the Academy. This is the voice of the Mysterons. This is a call, not to arms, but to understanding and reason and logic. Logic, that lost commodity in the modern world. Are you logical? How do you know? Where does your logic originate? Where does it all come from? Are you cognizant? Cognitive dissonance. Such a common state, unfortunately. The states are in a state, right? for sure, as the Irish would say. For sure, for sure. I want to point out a few things. Just on the fly as things pass by. I'm not going to have all of these texts here blown up onto the screen today, because I want to read through a few articles, but I'll do a little preface first. I got this warning on my phone. In fact, you can't escape. I mean, if you understand how the human mind works, if you understand the human mind is constantly absorbing everything that's happening, and that your brain filters everything in your conscious mind so that it selects that less than 1% that's relevant for survival. Yeah. Meanwhile, those 5 letters and 2 numbers are everywhere. Everywhere. Your brain is consistently absorbing pronunciation, absorbing the information like a sponge, soaking it all up. Her Majesty's Government would like to inform you. I got this message today in my phone. You should only partake in activities alone. With members of your own household, or with one other person from outside your household, while practicing social distancing, which is just, I mean, try to put the pieces of the puzzle together. It's like it's like they're giving you squares, telling you they're triangles or something. It's like giving someone an orange and saying, "Okay, open the door with this." I don't even really know how to explain it. You should take particular care. I mean, they do treat the general public like complete morons. Now, how insane is that? How insane is that? Look at that. Facebook's friend list on the left there, if you're watching the video version. Now, I counted the friends in my Facebook list, which used to be over 1,000, but now it's down to about 35, I think. Because I decided that I didn't want to use Facebook to throw out information to as many people as possible. I actually wanted to use Facebook to listen to what other people had to say and have reasoned debate and discussion. And you can't do that if you've got too much information, right? I'm just going to throw this out to the world and see if it sticks. No. You gotta, it's a two-way street, right? It's a two-way street. So according to Facebook, I've actually got 64 friends, but I counted it. There's only like 35. So what all that's about, I don't know if they're hiding something or not, but I can tell you right now, I have no idea who this person is, and I have no idea who this person is, and not much idea who this person is, and this person liked one of my, I don't even know who these people are, even though I've filtered out all the people who I don't know who they are. It's still showing me, it says at the top there, 65. Look, it says 65. I counted them, there was only 35. And I don't know who these people are that it's putting into my feed. Maybe it's nobody at all. How can you tell, right? Anyway, what's happening when these messages are continually pumped out is they're constantly reminding you that you're the subject of their attention. Or at least they want you to think you're the subject of their attention. You know, Like when you get these little posts that are like, submit your questions, and people think, oh, the government really cares about what I think. They're really listening to me. Hmm. Do you think it's all not scripted, people? Really? You think they're going to spend all that time and all that effort and all that money and have all those people and not have it scripted to a certain extent? There used to be a good British TV show called Top Gear. I think it's pretty famous around the world. Um, and I don't know if it's still on or not. I have no idea what's on TV. The reason I mention it was that I was watching an episode of it one day, and they won an award. They won an award for best, and they were like showing the award. Like, we just won an award for best unscripted television show. And they sort of, as he said, unscripted, the presenters all looked at each other and laughed. And I think the main presenter even said, little did they know, right? It's all a joke if you're on the inside, right? It's all a big joke. Anyway, they want to remind you with all of these alerts that you have to be careful, beware. And it does play on people's minds to the extent that they tend to self-censor. And the worst form of censorship is always self-censorship. It's not what other people do to you, because that's visible. It's the invisible censorship, right? That's what matters. And we censor ourselves. We will track ourselves. Eventually we will trace ourselves. What's that Radiohead song? That really old Radiohead song? You do it to yourself, you do just you and no one else. Oh yeah. So yeah, we'll do it to ourselves. Buy this patch, you can stick it on yourself and it will tell you if you're healthy or sick. Because, right. You wouldn't know if you didn't have the patch, right? You wouldn't know if it didn't change color or flash or I don't know what it does. It's just all madness. That's what it is. It's just all madness. And deep down inside, a lot of people want what's coming. What's coming? What's coming, you ask? What's coming? I don't know exactly what's coming, but I know there's a number of choices. There's a number of roads. There's a limited number of roads. It's a bit like saying, well, how are you going to get from here to there? Well, there's a limited number of ways that you could do it to get to that end game. And it's not about money. Money's just a tool. It's about power and control. Forever, really. It's the battle of light and dark. It's human history. It is unbiblical proportions. It is. And secretly deep down inside, a lot of people want the tyranny. As crazy as it is, they actually want it. And to show they want it, they will acquiesce to it or pretend it doesn't exist until it can't be ignored anymore. Secretly deep down inside, people want the tyranny because it allows them to further mask their own inabilities. Yeah, the coming tyranny will, the greater evil will hide the lesser evil, right? To a certain extent. because it allows them to further mask their own inabilities and insecurities and failures. Yes? Oh, we have little interruptions. Hi, Jazz.
I love you.
Oh, thank you very much, darling. I love you too.
You can play around with my stick as much as you like.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hmm. Jazz just came to show me her stick. Simple things. Simple things. The things that you understand when you surround yourself with kids for the right reasons. You surround yourself with kids so that you can learn from them. Not so that you can shape them and instruct them and mold them into your image and break them if they get it wrong. You surround yourself with children to remind yourself of what it is to be alive. Because most adults have died. Most adults are dead already. They've lost the spark, they've lost the fire, they've lost the light, they've lost the energy. And they don't want to acknowledge it, they don't want to admit it. They don't want to look down deep inside themselves. They want the tyranny, because the tyranny is a mask. It's a mask that covers their own inabilities and insecurities and failures with the fact that, oh my gosh, they can't do anything. But the truth of the matter is that they would never attempt to resolve their issues anyway. They would never really do anything. And as a result, reality gets further buried by the passivity and inactivity as people begin to serve the shadow rather than face it. One question that you could ask yourself is, which rules am I unwilling to follow? What is my line? Because rules, we're told, are necessary for our society. Really? For whose benefit? For whose benefit? Consider the fact that rules tend to emphasize more fear and less love. Oh my gosh, what if we... Oh no, we can't because they will... Really? Really? You can't truly learn if love is not an option. Oh yeah, you can't. You can't learn if love is not an option. You just have to base your world on fear then. Hey, there's a knock at the door. Is there somebody at the door? Do you want to come in? Dun dun dun. The door opens up. Hi, Jazz. I'm doing it. Oh, you've brought your stick. Is that for me? Wow.
Yeah, you can walk around with it.
Oh, look
It's
at that.
my
That
son,
is
actually.
that is a grand stick. That is wow. Look at that.
It's
That's
very long. It's giant.
it's giant. What's that? About 70, 80 centimeters tall. There. It's good. Definitely good for walking with if you're going through the forest. Wow. That is so cool. Thank
no,
you.
no, no.
No, I've
It
got.
goes like this.
Oh, I've got it upside down. Oh.
There.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. Oh, it's perfect for my hand at the top here. That.
It's a handle.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Would it be possible for me to have a little bit of time to finish my recording?
You can use it
Yeah.
to paddleboard when you.
Oh yeah, I can use it to paddleboard. Absolutely. That'll make me go really fast down the river. Yeah, that is so cool. Thank you, thank you. You gonna put it somewhere safe? There we go. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'll catch you later, yeah, when I'm finished. Bye. It's life, right? Welcome to reality. You know, imagine believing that, oh my gosh, we can't let the people make decisions for themselves because, oh, it will be a terrible mess. Really? Do you think the kids can't work stuff out if you give them the space and the time and the opportunity? What is it in you that leads you to distrust others? Now, I'm not saying be a blind fool. I'm not saying trust everybody with everything. Right? Trust everybody with everything. It's not a good idea. How crazy is this world thinking about trust? How crazy is it that when I just went to the shop, I decided to test the Google Pay system. Because, you know, I've always said and mentioned it previously, if you travel anywhere, you need three things. You need your phone and your wallet and your passport, right? Well, I went to the shop without my wallet. On purpose, right? On purpose, because I wanted to have a little experiment. And what I did was I registered with the Google Payments system, which means I can pay with my phone, which also means I've got to take really super good care of my phone because, and it's showing, I mean, the power of the technology, that all I have to do is like put my phone near the checkout and it'll go beep and it'll say you've paid. It's also giving all my data to Google. That's a question of trust, right? We would never use your data against you, right? I'm not foolish enough to believe that everyone in the system is good. I will, however, give people the benefit of the doubt. So yeah, crazy, huh? So the wallet is now superfluous, or has been for 5 to 10 years if you've already used that technology. If you're a bit older like me, you're a bit skeptical of things sometimes. Although I'm just kind of surrounded by technology here, but it's interesting, right? So you don't even need the credit card. Because the phone acts like the credit card. We're not even using money anymore. We're not even using money anymore. And how wild is that? It's all credit transfers and numbers in the indivisible matrix somewhere. Wild, huh? Wild. I wonder when it's going to take the place of the passport. Well, it is when they've got the tracing app, which is the new passport. That's what it is. The tracing app is the new passport. And that will allow you to go, to move, to travel. Wow. You will only need one thing. How smooth will that transition be? How many hundreds of years has it taken us to get that far? I wonder. Somebody somewhere had a plan. Do you realize that somebody somewhere had a plan for this? Do you know who it was? Do you know if they factored you into the plan? Is it for you? Who is it for? It's wild, huh? It's wild. This device, this phone. I once knew a director of a company who said, "Show me your phone and I'll tell you everything about you." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I just need to look at the apps on your phone. What you use, when you use it, how often you use it, the arrangement of the screen. Yeah. Show me your data and I'll tell you everything about you." Wild, huh? Wild. All part of the plan. The 2020, 2030, 2040, 2050. Get everyone on board. Marching to orders. Lock. Step. Click. As the cell door closes behind you. And then you scream and you shout. But at that point, when everyone's screaming and shouting, it's too late. Right? You've got to realize the opportunity when the opportunity exists. Not all opportunities last forever. You've got to realize what you can do when you can do it, and you have to then do it. You have to use your voice, because if you don't have a voice, then you don't have a choice. So true. It's so true. And there are ways around and ways through. If you conform or sell yourself, or as someone told me today, you can only break the system from the inside. I don't want to break the system. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to be the virus, right? There are other ways. We just don't know it yet. We know there are other ways. Boundless, endless ways that we can progress into the future. Unlimited solutions. As various as the sentences spoken every minute in conversations. As different as all the lines and all the books of history. As different as every painting ever painted. And yet the system would have you think that there's only one way to go. But there's not. We will meet resistance, whatever we do, wherever we go. And that's why you have to trust in yourself, in your mission, in your belief, in your experience, in your vision, in your passion. And whatever it is that you're passionate about, you have to make it part of your day, because if it's not part of your day, then it won't be part of your life. And if you don't exercise the right, how do you even know the right exists? How do you know it exists? What a question, huh? Sky News! Here's a report for you. Sky News discovers that speaking can spread the coronavirus. Restaurant experiment shows how quickly COVID-19 spreads. Further research finds speaking loudly spreads more of the disease, which remains in the air for more than 8 minutes. Fear, 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 fear. Oh my God, don't talk loudly. Lose your humanity. Be castrated. You know what the virus does? It eats away at the parts of your body that build the future. You know what the VAC, the vaccine, you know what the vaccine does? Same thing. Interesting, huh? Same thing. But then you're not supposed to talk about it, right? Or only within certain contexts. But don't worry, because we'll soon have AI to filter through everything and remind us not to get too close, not to talk too loudly, not to share, not to help, not to call on people, not to offer assistance. But it's okay, because the powers that be have got it all figured out, right? They've got the guidelines for returning to school. Really, the guidelines. According to the guidelines for returning to schools in England, there's also a reference to non-sharing of equipment, which is why every child will have their own pack of stationery provided and will not be allowed to bring their own equipment to school. You won't be allowed to bring your own things. Eventually, you won't have anything of your own. Eventually, your clothes will be handed down to you by the government, just like an episode of Star Trek. Yes, that's what it's all about, really. We might allow you to have a lunchbox and a water bottle. We might. Yeah. Because that would be going too far, right? The message that we want to give is that touch is bad. And this needs to be reiterated to the pupils at home over and over ahead of a return to school. We have to tell the children that touch is bad. Make sure you don't touch anybody. Of course, you realize you need human contact to survive, to actually get that foreign bacteria that helps you develop resistance, that makes you stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger if it doesn't kill you. Depends what the it is, doesn't it? Parents should be reassured that fines will not be used for non-attendance. Yet. That yet. A big yet. But we do want an arrangement where pupils are either attending or not. Right. What kind of world is that going to be? Do you have any idea? What kind of world is that going to be, people? Meanwhile, Interestingly enough, if you compare flu vaccine frequency in older people with COVID-19 COVID-19 mortality, using figures from Vaccine Today EU and Worldometer, correct as of the 13th of May 2020, we discovered that more often than not, those countries who have vaccinated their populations
Mom.
have a... Oh, is she back?
Yeah.
Okay, that is so cool.
Her in.
Oh,
Pray button.
oh, you're a star. Thank you so much.
Pray button.
Okie dokie. So, so cool. I don't get life without kids. I don't get it. It makes zero sense. Right enough, you've got to put up with a lot of sleepless nights and getting kicked in the head for the first 2 years. But, there's nothing like seeing the growth of another human being and being responsible for it. Realizing that they have their own light, life, way, their own opinions and ideas. Of course they mirror what is happening, but there's more to it than that, so much more. You might be able to see the table here where the leader, it's so nice to be a leader, isn't it? The UK is the leader in flu vaccinations for people over the age of 65. Isn't that great? Funnily enough, they're also the leader in mortality per million in terms of the present viral outbreak. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. But don't forget to get your flu shot. Even you can't vaccinate for the 1,000 different mutations that happen every year of the flu, right? It can't be predicted. It's never been able to be predicted. But that's okay. Don't go and watch any of the films. Don't go and read any of the books. Don't go and do any of the research. Don't look at any of the studies. Don't look at what's happened in other countries. We've got it all covered for you. Even though we won't show you the insert, we'll just give you the guidelines, right? Even though there's no liability, it's okay, right? Imagine that. Imagine that criminals were all above the law, huh? Well, that would never happen. That would never happen. Would it? Really? Really? You think that's never going to happen? Huh? Well, the UK sits at the top with the Netherlands, Portugal, Ireland, and Spain. Funny that. Malta and Italy, France, Sweden. Yeah. The anomaly in the table apparently is Luxembourg. Interesting. Among countries omitted from the collection of data in the study was Belgium, which has the highest mortality rate in the world at this moment at 763 per million. I wonder why they wouldn't release those statistics. While specific data for older people were not available on the official Belgian statistics website, flu vaccination coverage of the overall population is relatively high. According to the study, overall a clear difference is apparent between East and West Europe, both in vaccine uptake and in COVID-19 death. Wow. But then again, people, nothing to see here. Move along, move along, move along. Have you seen any patterns? Have you seen the agenda? Does this look familiar? I wonder what the United Nations and the World Health Assembly and the the World Health Organization and all the alphabet soup organizations. I wonder what their plan is for the world. I wonder what their strategies are. Oh, thank you very much for that message. Hi. What can I help you with, Jazz? I'm still not finished though. I still need another 5 or 10 minutes.
I want to keep an eye on you.
You want to keep an eye on me? Well, you can keep an eye on me for sure, but you have to be as quiet as possible, yeah? It might be a bit boring for you as well. It might be better to go and play with your brother and sister and then come back.
They're
No?
doing something by themselves. They
They
don't
d-
need any help from me.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, where does it all go? What is the plan? What is the agenda? By 2030, the UN, the World Health Organization, the World Economic Forum, and others envision a world where everyone, everywhere, at every age fully benefits from the VACCINES to improve health and well-being. The vision is a world where everyone at every age is affected, right? Right. Jazz is poking me with his stick right now. Jazz, I asked you for a little bit of space and peace. Yeah, I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult because you want to play. But I'll tell you what, I'll come and find you. Yeah? If you go and play in your room for 5 or 10 minutes, I'll come and find you the moment I'm finished. What do you
I
think?
usually hide in my cupboard.
You want to hide in your cupboard?
You have to find me.
Well, go and hide, but it'll take me 5 or 10 minutes to be ready. Yeah? I'll finish as soon as I can, I promise.
I'll go
Yeah?
hide somewhere.
You're going to go hide somewhere. Okay. Okay, but it's going to take me a few minutes to finish.
Stick for stick.
Super, I'll look after the stick for you. Absolutely. And
Stick in every hole to know where I am. If somebody pokes me, that's me.
okay. Okay, you want me to use the stick to try to find you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okie dokie.
Every hole you can.
Right. Life. Life's unavoidable, isn't it? They envision a world where everybody fully benefits from the modern examples of healthcare. In fact, I remember a time when many years ago I had to go through something similar with myself and my family, and of course we all got through it together, didn't we? We worked hard, and as a nation we did what was necessary, and we are here as a result of all of the hard work done by all of the key workers who were definitely essential, while all of you other people there were essentially non-essential, right? Anyway, remember these people have infinite resources, infinite finance, infinite manpower, and almost infinite time. So, it's always something to consider. Man walks into a chemist, right? And he says, "Excuse me, may I please have the package insert for the flu vaccine?" Pharmacist says, why? Man says, so I can read it. Pharmacist says, which one? Man says, well, the one advertised with the little banners on every aisle. You know, I saw you had something on your door out there. And the pharmacist says, oh, no problem. I will print you the information sheet. And the man says, no, that's not the same thing. And the pharmacist says, well, what do you want to know? I can help you. I can tell you. The man says, well, I would just like to read the whole thing, that information sheet, the official information, just before I consider getting one, because I'd like to know if there are any possible side effects, or I'd like to know about the effectiveness. I'd like to know about the ingredients, because I just want to be informed, really. I'm just curious, curiosity. And the pharmacist says, "Oh, I'm really sorry, I don't think I have any. Let me check." No, but well, actually, we do have some, but I can't give you one until the box is empty, because it has to stay in the box. And I realize that the people are asking questions now, and they've definitely improved, and that they've done a better job, and it's definitely good to get one. And I'd be happy to print you the information sheet. The man says, "Well, no thanks. I just like to have the insert, the official one that comes." And then, well, you only get what you ask for, right? You only get what you ask for. And then from time to time, you don't even get that, right? You don't even get that. It's a story of vampires. History is a story of vampires. Yeah. It's a story of predators. dailymail.co.uk posted a story recently. It's not a very nice story. I'm not sure if you want to know about this. That 300,000 babies were stolen from their parents and sold for adoption. And they were stolen by the doctors and the nurses and the priests and the nuns. But that would never happen here. You think we've progressed so much in such a short space of time that we've left all of the dark things behind us and not taken some of them with us? You think that? Story reads, up to 300,000 Spanish babies were stolen from their parents and sold for adoption over a period of 5 decades, a new investigation reveals. Right? That's just what you know about in one country. The children were trafficked by a secret network of doctors, nurses, priests and nuns in a widespread practice that began during General Franco's dictatorship and continued until the early 90s. Hundreds of families who had babies taken from Spanish hospitals are now battling for an official government investigation into the scandal. Several mothers say they were told their firstborn child had died during or soon after they gave birth. But the woman, often young and unmarried, that's why you shouldn't have kids like that, right? That's why you should take care. That's what religion has been trying to teach you that you haven't been learning, right? History has its rules, has its habits, has its cultures, right? The women, often young and unmarried, were told they could not see the body of the infant or attend their burial. In reality, the babies were sold to childless couples whose devout beliefs in financial security meant that they were seen as more appropriate parents. How frightening is that? That's a government for you. That's a government for you. Yeah, the statistics that I talked about earlier came from regarding parallels with flu shots and COVID-19 come from thegatewaypundit.com. It's an article by Niall McRae and David Curtin, if you want to find it. If you want to find it. It's there. It's there if you want to read it. It's there if you want to read it. The information is all out there. Just take the time to make the effort. Life is a voyage of discovery. You will always find what you're looking for. Think about that carefully. You will always find what it is that you're looking for. What are you looking for? You're looking for your foam roller. What, the thing that you do your yoga with? Yeah? Well, I don't have it. So I don't have your foam roller. Is it? But it's not made of foam, is it? It's the big plastic one.
Yeah, but it's got foam on top of the plastic.
Yeah? Oh, okay. I never used it. If it comes into my vision while I'm sitting here, I'll give you a shout. Right? Good luck. The insanity of reality is nothing if not consistent. Right. It's never normal anymore. That came from a phrase that I used with an Irish friend of mine when we lived far away from here in another country, at another time, in another place. And we had otherworldly experiences. It really was never normal, right? And then I had kids, right? And that just makes you realize so much. Anyway, I hope you learned something from this little monologue today. I hope that there was something that maybe sparked your attention, maybe something that triggered something in the back of your mind. Maybe to have a conversation with somebody about something. In order to have a better quality of life, you have to be able to recognize where the problems lie. Then you can begin to fix them. Then your life can improve. Then everything can take little steps forward. And that is called progress, right? And we all need progress, for sure. My name's G. I represent the Academy. You can find information on Facebook under Graham William Hendry. It's also on Twitter and Instagram. Also, the Academy of Language Therapy and Life Coaching has bits and bobs and pieces and videos all over the place, specifically on YouTube, for as long as my channel is allowed to function, as we live in a world of heightened insecurity right now. Never quite sure what's going to be. Right. Hey, whatever you're doing, I wish you success. Wherever you are, I wish you happiness. And remember, don't forget to tell the ones that you love them. Yeah. Time is short. Life is precious. Take care. Speak to you soon.